Happy Monday. A 4-1 run to start the playoffs. We got two more wild card round games to talk about. Let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I'm your host, Steven, and we're here to talk some more NFL playoff football, baby. And what a wild weekend it was in the NFL. Starting with the Texans putting a beatdown on the Browns. My twin brother did not come through some bad interceptions, and CJ Stroud gets his first playoff win in his first playoff game. Quite the game. And then the Dolphins offense continues to be the Dolphins offense. All the Dolphins fans out there that hated when I picked against them, they are who they are, guys. They are probably the most predictable offense and predictable team in the NFL. You know what they can do against bad teams, and you know what they can do against good teams. So they did what they did. Chiefs with an easy win over the Dolphins. And the Cowboys, they do what they do. They fade in the playoffs. Unbelievable. I was shocked at that. Seriously, I'm not going to sit here and say I saw that coming. Although fading the Cowboys is always a good idea in January, that's for sure. But Packers, kudos to you guys. I made fun of Jordan Love a lot this year. He looked better. Running game looked good. I mean, everything. They just scored at will like it was practice. Unbelievable. McCarthy, Dak, people need to stop saying they're going to win a Super Bowl because it's just not going to happen. Those two, you can count on not trusting them, if that makes sense. And then the Lions, their first playoff win since 1992, back when I was just having fun being 6 years old. So congrats to the Lions. That was a good game to watch. But we got two games to talk about on Monday. That's right, not one. We did have one at the beginning, but Steelers and Bills moved to Monday due to weather. So in this video, we're going to recap our playoff bets so far, and oh baby, has it been a good start. Then we're going to go over just a few trends for these two games on Monday, and then preview and recap the Steelers and Bills, and preview and recap the Eagles at the Buccaneers, and wrap it all up with the bets recap. So hit that like button, leave a comment below, help this channel keep growing as we get closer and closer to 20,000 subscribers. If you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the channel. We appreciate it. I'm ready to get going, and it starts with the bets recap. All right, there it is. A nice 4-1 start to the NFL playoffs, and Saturday was a beauty. Over 44.5 Browns Texans, never a doubt. Thank you to the Texans. And then my twin brother, Joe Flacco, he doesn't play well, but guess what? He cashes us a bet, and that's all that matters. And that's all he cared about, too, is helping his brother out. Chiefs moneyline under 51.5, never really a doubt on either of those. That was a nice, easy winner. We knew the Dolphins' offense was, again, not going to do anything. It was too cold of weather and too good of a team they were playing against. And then Sunday, Tony Pollard over 16.5 rush yards, my only loss, and I would bet it 10 out of 10 times, guys. He came up 9 yards short, and he didn't have a carry in the fourth quarter, barely any in the second half, because the Cowboys, I lost because of a blowout, really. And that's, that happens in the NBA all the time. It just hit me in the NFL this time. When you're betting a running back to get rush yards and they're down by 158, he's not going to carry the ball very much. But even with all that said, he still came up 9 yards short. I think he would have got it. Well, I know he would have got it if they were ahead in the game. But either way, that's a loss. And then the teaser, Rams +9 over 45.5. Thank goodness I teased that total down because the total ended up only at 47. The points slowed down drastically in the second half. Rams obviously lost by 1, so that was a nice winner. 4-1, up 2.86 units on the NFL playoffs so far. It's early. We just got to keep it rolling. So that's what we got for the bets recap. And now let's check out the NFL trends. All right, I got 5 NFL trends for you for the wild card round, only for these last two games. Underdogs 20-10 against the spread in wild card games, and 13-17 straight up since 2017. And at least one underdog has won outright in each season since 2017. That is all coming into this year. We've already had underdogs win, as you guys know, with the Packers destroying the Cowboys. So these stats are not about this year. It's leading up to this year. Just want to throw that out there again for those people that think some of these trends are pointless. It's okay. Just move on from it. Sometimes these can be a part of your handicap. Sometimes they mean nothing to you. Steelers 1-10 straight up without TJ Watt in his career. We talked about some of these trends already in the other videos, so we don't need to dwell on it. But TJ Watt is out. The Bills 3-7 ATS last 10 is a favorite, and 0-8 against the spread last 8 games is a double-digit favorite. If you go with that trend, that means you were taking the Steelers +10, I believe now. The under 7-3 last 10 Bills home games, under 7-1 last 8 times these two teams have faced, and 7-2 to the under in the 9 Steelers road games, last 9 Steelers road games. So all trends point to the under in that one. And then the final one, under is 12-6 the last 18 Tampa Bay Bucs games, and 7-0 the last 7 games versus NFC East. Under is also 7-1 last 8 Eagles road games. So those are the NFL trends for these 2 weeks or 2 games coming up. Hopefully, this just helps you part of your handicap. If you've been following us all year, you know that we all the trends we gave out. I don't have the exact record. I haven't counted Week 18 yet, but it had a very very good year if you just tailed every trend. So those are the trends. But before we get into the preview and best bets of these 2 NFL games, let's talk our promotion with BetMGM. All right, thanks to our partnership with OddsShopper, we bring you this incredible promotion with BetMGM, and it is not going to last forever, so you got to jump on it. If you live in a legal state for BetMGM, new customers bet $5, get $158 instantly in bonus bets. It is just an unbelievable deal. You have to click on that link below. It'll be in the description. Go sign up, and you get $158 instantly in bonus bets. And like I said, it's an NFL playoff thing. It might not even last for the entire playoff, so jump on it now. Use that link below. You must be 21 years or older. If you have a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, let's get to the picks. All right, this first game is the Buffalo Bills hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. The game was on Sunday, and now it is on Monday. The total has moved 3 points, and the spread has moved about a half a point since we talked about it on Sunday. I still have the same best bet. Nothing's changed. It sounds like the wind has died down a little bit from what it would have been on Sunday. It's still going to be cold as balls, that's for sure. But we have the same bet, and we didn't want to make you guys go to the previous video or have me ramble on the exact same thing I said. So we're just going to put that clip right into this video to help you out. Let's roll it. All right, we go out to snowy Buffalo as the Bills host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bills minus 9.5 right now. Total 35.5. That's right. Let's just talk some storylines and info on this game before we get into the best bets. Coach McDermott and Tomlin, the two coaches for these teams, actually went to college together and know each other pretty dang well. I just learned that, actually. I didn't even know that. Also, Pittsburgh is geographically the closest team to Buffalo. That's what I heard. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. That's just what I read. But I had no idea on that either. Also, the weather will be ugly. I do know that. It is going to be atrocious. 50% chance of snow, temperature around 20 degrees, winds possibly up to 30 miles an hour. And apparently, the winds can be really ugly in Orchard Park. It's not exactly downtown Buffalo, it's Orchard Park. The wind's off the lake. This is, me, the weatherman right now. Can be ugly. You guys that live in that area, you guys know a lot more than I do. This is just what I'm hearing, what I'm reading. So it could be ugly. Wind to me is the biggest factor in a football game. It's not necessarily some rain or cold weather. It is the wind. It's hard to pass in the wind, hard to kick in the wind, things like that. So this total opened around 42. It is already down to 35.5. It's absolutely insane, and that's all due to the weather. That's for sure. I do want to say one thing before you place any bets on this game. Just stay tuned as to what's going on with the weather because there is some rumors, some rumblings out there that they may move the game to Cleveland. NFL hasn't come out and said they are or anything like that, but there's just a slight chance if it's too bad of weather and people can't even get to the game and things like that. So just want to point that out. This is not my favorite game to handicap. I'll say that. So, but these are two of the hotter teams coming into the playoffs. Bills 5-game winning streak. Steelers are on a 3-game winning streak, but the Steelers are also the only team in the playoffs with a negative point differential. We know that I don't know if we call them lucky or they just find ways to win based on defense and things like that. But injuries in this game, the huge one, T.J. Watt, we already talked about it. Maybe no Gabe Davis for the Bills. At least that's what it's looking like. The number 2 receiver for the Buffalo Bills. But it does look like safety Minkah Fitzpatrick will be back, and that would be a huge, huge help for the Buffalo Bills defense. That's for sure. So, or for the Steelers defense. Sorry. Anyways, my best bet in this game. It's not exactly a guy that's just right there on the radar, but I'm going with the tight end. Give me Dalton Kincaid over 3.5 receptions at minus 120 on BetMGM was the best odds on this one, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But this line, it's minus 150 on FanDuel, minus 135 on DraftKings. If you get even a little bit, 4.5 to me is just a little too much. But if you're getting plus money, I don't mind it either, and we're going to talk about why. But this weather being bad, these short passes to tight ends, I think, is what Josh Allen's going to rely on. And this rookie tight end, by the way, one of the best tight ends in the league. I mean, he is unbelievable. He had the 4th most catches ever by a rookie tight end. That's crazy to me. The 4th most ever by a rookie tight end. Now, with Gabe Davis out of the game, he becomes the obvious number 2 for Josh Allen. And last game versus the Dolphins, when Gabe Davis actually went out with an injury early in the game, Kincaid had 7 catches for 84 yards. He crushed this line. He doubled it. And he had 4+ catches in 9 of the last 11 games. I mean, 4+ catches. I think this line is just too low, to be honest with you, at least at these odds. He's actually had 5+ catches in 8 of 11. That's why if you get a line at 4.5 at plus money, I don't mind that. He's done that in 8 of 11 games. I also liked his over 34.5 receiving yards. Just one or the other. Because of the possibility of snow, I don't want to count on yards. I'd rather just catch, hopefully he catches some short passes, get 4 catches, and move on with the win. But like I said, 5, 6+ catches might be a sprinkle if you want to kind of ladder it. But he's facing the Steelers. They've given up the 14th most receptions to tight ends at 86 this season, so kind of average, little over 5 catches per game. Now, not counting last week, because the Ravens just really didn't play any starters. Steelers recently have given up 5 catches to Noah Fant, 3 to Drew Sample, 3 to Hunter Henry, and 8 to Trey McBride. Now, McBride is actually someone closer to the talent of Kincaid, that's for sure. And 8 catches for McBride. With Gabe Davis out, I think this line is just too low. Like I mentioned, the only thing impacting here is the weather. And I think that's why maybe some of these numbers are just dropped ever so slightly on receptions, on receiving yards, and things like that. So, if I had to give another one, because I'm here to give you guys ideas, not just my best bet, I also like Najee Harris over 15.5 rush attempts. That was almost the best bet of mine. Last 3 games, he is being used heavily. I mean, we're talking 19, 27, and 26 rush attempts, just flying over this. Snow game may mean more running the ball as well, because you don't want to pass the ball a ton, especially when it's Mason Rudolph. He has played well, but it's still Mason Rudolph. So 15.5 seems a little low to me. I think it's juiced to the over anyways, but that's just another idea in this game. But I also like Kincaid just for the yards, but I'm going to go with reception as my best bet. Just make sure you check the weather and know what's going on in this game, because there's a lot of snow and a lot of wind, just like normal, and a nice little Buffalo playoff game. This is not uncommon, that's for sure. So give me Kincaid over 3.5 catches as bet number one. All right, this second game takes us out to Tampa, Florida. We got the Buccaneers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles -3, total 43 points in this game. So let's talk some news storylines real quick before we get into the best bet. A.J. Brown ruled out for this game, an absolutely huge blow for the Philadelphia Eagles, as he's obviously their number one weapon on offense. Safety Reed Blankenship is questionable for the Eagles. Good player for them. Baker Mayfield for the Bucs. We all know he's hobbled. This looks like he's going to play. He's going to be not fine, but he will play. But you can tell last couple weeks he just hasn't quite been the same. I will say this about this game. This is my least favorite game to bet of the entire wild card round. There's been a lot of player props and different things that I've liked in every single game I've looked at so far. I don't love this one, but I still have a best bet for you, and I'm also going to give you a lean just to kind of give you guys some more information. But Eagles are the 6th team in the Super Bowl era to make the playoffs after losing 6 straight against the spread to end the season. Just a fun fact. I don't even know what that tells you, really. Previous 5 teams, though, they won their first playoff game. So, anyways, that's what we got. My best bet in this game. I'm sorry. I know some of you guys are looking for Eagles -3 or Bucs +3 or something like that. It's the opposite. It's a kicker prop. Give me Chase McLaughlin of the Tampa Bay Bucs over 1.5 field goals at +100 on DraftKings. Whenever I struggle with the game, I sometimes look at the kickers, and this one really stood out to me. Again, not my favorite bet of the weekend, not my favorite game of the weekend, and I will give you a lean here in just a second. But I think this game is more of an under type game. So if I had to bet a total, I think it's going to be more of an under. And I think McLaughlin's going to get some opportunities. So and let me tell you why, as much as I can about a kicker prop. He has 2+ field goals in 5 of the last 6 games and 12 of the last 17 games this year. The Eagles' defense is struggling mightily. We all know that. They're just absolutely horrendous. They've even been struggling against the run this last month or so of the season. It's just been weird, to be honest. And as this defense falls apart, the Bucs offense should be able to move the ball a little bit. I do know the Bucs offense hasn't been just dominant the last few weeks, but I think the Eagles defense is going to be good or bad enough to at least help the Bucs move the ball a little bit more than they have been. And here's the huge kicker to this. I didn't even mean to say that. That was a little pun. The Bucs have the 3rd worst red zone offense in the NFL. When I'm looking at field goal props, this is one of the things I'm looking at. Can a team move the ball, and do they struggle in the red zone? Because if they struggle in the red zone, that means more field goals. They have scored a touchdown in only 45.8% of red zone drives. That is the 3rd worst in the entire NFL. That's right, 3rd worst red zone offense. So obviously that's great for field goals. So I think it's kind of a combo of the Eagles are not very good defensively, run or pass. So the Bucs should be able to move the ball, but they might struggle in the red zone a little bit because they have been all season long. So McLaughlin, if you're wondering, 29 for 31 this season on field goals, 93.5%. So he's been solid. That's all I really got. I mean, give me Chase McLaughlin over 1.5 field goals. I love the plus 100 value. I think he's going to get 2 or 3 attempts. So that will be my best bet in this game. Let's talk the lean now. I also like Rashad White over 3.5 receptions at minus 115. So Baker's hobbled. I think it makes him check down a little bit. And he has kind of been checking down a little bit more lately to him because probably he doesn't want to run around a lot and get hit. So Rashad White, 4+ catches in 3 straight games to end the season. He's been targeted a lot more, 15 targets in the last 3 games. That's pretty good. Obviously, as a running back, you're going to catch most of your targets because they're usually dump offs. Not 100% of them, but you do. Eagles are pretty much average, giving up 80 catches on the season to the running back position. So I like Rashad White over 3.5 receptions. I think he has a chance to have a pretty good game here. So another lean. I have 2 leans. Surprise. It's kind of it's a little teaser. The Bucs +9 and the under 49. So it's a teaser, just kind of like I did in the Rams Lions game, taking the Bucs up to +9, taking the total to 49, and taking the under. I don't think any team runs away with this, so I love getting the +9. I'd also, like I mentioned, I think it's a lower scoring game. Eagles will be without their superstar receiver. They've already been struggling in offense. That is not going to help. Bucs have struggled a little bit offensively. I see this as like a 21-17 type of game. So as a lean, not official. Don't get upset if any of these leans lose. I'm just trying to give you more info. Maybe it gives you more ideas or something grabs you. But a second lean is just the Bucs +9 under 49. It is a teaser. You should get that at minus 120 on DraftKings. So that's the Bucs and Eagles game. What a fun game to end the weekend. But that's my best bets for this Monday slate and my leans. Let's check out the bets recap. All right, that first one is the same bet we gave out on Sunday. Dalton Kincaid of the Bills over 3.5 catches at minus 120 on BetMGM. And then the kicker, Chase McLaughlin of the Bucs over 1.5 field goals at plus 100 on DraftKings. And just a heads up, Kincaid over 3.5 catches. The wind is going to be a little bit better, at least on Monday. That's why they moved it. So I even like the 3.5 catches more. It's obviously going to be a little bit better weather and everything there in Buffalo. It's not going to be good still. It's going to be freezing. It's going to suck. But I just think that helps the over 3.5 catches even more. So, anyways, those are my 2 best bets for the Monday wild card round as we wrap up the first round of the NFL playoffs. It's only going to get more exciting from here. So let's wrap it up with 2 more wins. Let's see if we can make it 6-1 in the first round of the playoffs. I appreciate all the support all week, every day, day in, day out. You guys are absolutely awesome. And don't worry, the NBA video will be coming out for Monday games as we're on a 4-1 run there. Let's see if we can keep that rolling. So hope everyone has a great Monday, and we'll talk to you soon.